Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and on today's Skincare Saturday, we are going to do another versus test. We are going to test Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint up against Pixi H2O Skin Tint. Now, I got both of these because they're both skin tints. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. But we're gonna test it out, and we're gonna do half of my face in Milani and half of my face in Pixi. And we're gonna do an 8 to 10 to 12 hour wear test. I know, right? So I feel like along with our, forever hunt of finding something that will turn back the hands of time as far as skincare products are concerned, I am now on a new hunt for something that isn't foundation necessarily, but that is lightweight enough, that doesn't look like we're wearing a shit ton of makeup, but that does even everything out. I would like something that doesn't set into my crevices, something that makes me look natural, fresh, and young. I don't think it's too much to ask. And if you remember before, we did put number 7 and Neutrogena to the test. Now these were tinted skin perfector. So in my mind, it's kind of like, and maybe even more so with Milani and Pixi, more of like a tinted moisturizer, which I feel would be lovely. I don't wear foundation at all. And the crazy thing is, I know all the young kids with no flaws on their face are wearing foundation, but I also think that as we get older, they tell us that liquid makeup is the way to go. Stay away from powders and whatever. However, I feel foundation just looks cakey. And for me and my wrinkle depth, it just gets right in. It's just like you're filling in the Grand Canyon, and it does not look good. When foundation sets into my crevices, I feel it just brings them more forefront, and ain't nobody want that. Now, when I did test the number 7 and the Neutrogena, I liked them both. I didn't think either one of them were super shitty. They looked fine. I lean towards, when I am going to put something like this on my face, I do lean towards the number 7. So it makes me feel like I like it better than the Neutrogena. I just like the feel of it. It does say that it's a satin finish sheer coverage. So every time I do reach for something to even out my skin tone, I find myself reaching for number 7 over Neutrogena. But I have been if I use number 7 a couple days, then I'll go to Neutrogena because they're both opened and I don't want to waste them before they expire. So we're gonna test 2 more today, and we'll see if we like these. Do we like either one of these better than I like number 7? How do they wear? Do they set in my crevices? Can I wear them all day? If someone were to get this close to me, would they be able to tell I had anything on my face at all? I don't know, but we're gonna find out in this Skincare Saturday. Okay, so it's morning. It's really morning. I know you can't tell because I feel like I look like this in every Skincare Saturday video, but it's morning. I have washed my face. I've put all my skincare products that I'm testing right now, which I think will come out after this video. Be on the lookout for that. So face prepped, washed, all my moisturizers and whatnot are on. So now it is time for this. And these are where are my receipts? Do I have my receipts? I do, right here. I purchased these at the Walgreens. The Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint was $11.99, and this is a 1 fluid ounce container. So I'm kind of doing a cheap versus expensive because the Pixi H2O Skin Tint was $24, and this is 1.2 fluid ounce. So they're almost exactly the same size. However, this one is half the price of this one. So yeah, cheap versus expensive, skin tint versus skin tint. We're gonna see right now. Okay, so the Milani, number 1, the struggle is real. Like I said, I don't wear foundation. I don't own foundation. So trying to shade match yourself in a drugstore when all you can see is what it looks like in the packaging or the color looks like at the top of the box, I tried my best to get the same colors because I knew I was going to do half of my face in one and half of my face in the other, and I wanted them to look similar. However, I don't know if either one of these is really going to match my skin tone, but we'll see. So for the Milani, I got the 110 Fair to Light Ultra Luminous Skin Tint. Sheer to light coverage melts into skin for a naturally dewy glow. It's a coconut water blend. It does say it has 29% squalene. Powerhouse ingredient locks moisture in and prevents hydration loss. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. So Milani's gonna go on the one earring side. Let's undo her. Sealed for my protection. Now remember, this is $11.99, so I'm just gonna use my hands. I'm not gonna go get my beauty blender or anything. Maybe I will, but probably not. Let's just use my hands. Okay, so it is kind of liquidy. See how it's kind of running down my finger? Very liquidy, like what I would assume a liquid foundation feels like. Whereas the number 7 and the Neutrogena I felt were more firm. This is very liquidy. So let's hope for the best as far as matching my skin. It smells like coconut. It smells like a day at the beach. Oh, it smells divine. And I don't like the taste of coconut, but the smell of coconut's lovely. Oh, this just reminds me of like sunscreen and tanning oil and beach vibes. I love it. Smell alone wins. Oh, half my chin, half my nose. I need a little bit more, I'm sure. As far as the coverage, I feel like it's just kind of melting into my skin. It's not really like nothing. Milani, nothing, Milani. It almost looks identical to nothing. I'm noticing a dewy finish, that's for fuck sure. I'm not noticing any evening out of like my rosy cheeks, my red nose right here. Very dewy, but it looks exactly the same. Should we get more? Should I get my beauty blender? Maybe tap, tap, tappa? I don't think you need to. I mean, I just want to rub something on my face and call it done, right? This just looks exactly the same. Let's do another layer. Now that was a very thin coating, but let's, oh my God, my hand, it's very dewy. You know, I'm not afraid of a dewy finish. I like it. I think it conveys youth. But I'd like something that was a little bit more coverage is all. Very dewy finish. While I don't mind a dewy finish, this one might be a little overkill. And I'm just not seeing any sort of coverage. It did say sheer to light. Very sheer as far as I'm concerned right now. It does feel on my face very kind of greasy. Like I feel like I can keep rubbing it in and rubbing it in and rubbing it in. I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, Milani, nothing. Milani, nothing. Looks like nothing is nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Let's apply Pixi and see what happens. Now for Pixi, I got the Skin Tint in beige, and this is H2O Skin Tint, Tinted Face Gel. Oh, from Petra right here. She says, I love this innovative new texture for the skin. It's very hydrating and refreshing, but dries to a semi-matte finish. Milani doesn't say what sort of finish it dries down to, or if it even dries. Dries down to a semi-matte finish that stays on all day. Oh, well, we're gonna test that. It's water-based tinted face gel, evens out skin tone, and gives complexion a flawless, no makeup look. Hydrates and provides all-day wear. Contains antioxidant-rich green tea, moisturizing rose water, soothing English chamomile, and relaxing lavender. It is fragrance-free and it is for all skin types. Well, that just already sounds like 800 times. This almost sounds like a skincare product that has some color to it. Open her up. Boom. Now, this one is $24.99 as opposed to our $11.99. Now, $11.99 looks very natural indeed. But let's check out this H2O Skin Tint, and hopefully the color looks good. Much more thick, very similar to the Neutrogena, not nearly as runny as the Milani. I wonder if I was supposed to shake the Milani. Color looks slightly different than the Milani, not so yellowy, I guess. Goes on just like Milani, nice and smooth and easy, very much like water. It's very, very smooth, very light. 2 earring side, Pixi, don't forget. Oh, and we're really putting Pixi to the test because this is my dark spot side. So we'll be able to see like how much coverage it does offer. It's definitely not as dewy as the Milani. I feel like it is offering a little bit more coverage. Now we did 2 squirts of Milani. Let's put on another layer of this. I'm just doing very thin layers, not going crazy I want to make sure to get into all of my trouble wrinkle areas because I want to see how well it sets in those wrinkles, or how well it doesn't set in the wrinkles, I should say. Off first impressions alone, the Pixi I do feel offers a little bit more coverage, a little bit more skin evening compared to the Milani. You can see like my redness through here, whereas here, while it's still showing, which looks like my natural skin, it's not nearly as red as the Milani side. I kind of do like the finish a little better from the Pixi side. This is very glowy and still feels very greasy. This one, you can tell the Pixi's already drying down. This is like an oil slick on my face right now, which leads me to believe that maybe I should have shaken it up because it is very liquidy. I think maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna wipe off what I did with Milani with a makeup wipe and then reapply the Milani after I shake it really good. Okay, wow. Now that I've taken off the Milani, I guess you can really see like the difference in the Pixi side compared to my natural skin side. We still have some redness, some unevenness. This Pixi side looks pretty nice, but let's shake up the Milani. Let's shake up Milani and give it a fair shake. Get it a fair shake, because I just feel like something wasn't right. Like maybe all of the oils, all of that coconut water blend had settled, and that's what I got at first squeeze. Let's give her another chance. I want to be fair, and it just was feeling way too greasy. And the Pixi side's already, like I can tell, is already dried down pretty nicely. The Pixi side looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's give Milani another shot. Let's see if it's any less liquidy. Still pretty liquidy, a little bit more firm. I definitely think it needed a good shake. I'm just hoping it's not as greasy once I have it on. And we'll do 2 coats. I mean, it still feels pretty greasy, I'm not gonna lie. And again, I just don't see like it really evening out or covering up the redness. You can definitely see a line of demarcation where I have like Pixi and Milani. Red, not red. All right, let's put on layer number 2. It's looking a little better, a little bit more coveragey, but still, again, very dewy. It's like, why is half of your face sweating off, Sheri? No, it's just Milani's very dewy texture. Okay, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. It's all blended in evenly. This is it. So Milani, Pixi, Milani, Pixi. And I'm gonna wear both of these all day today. I have some errands that I want to go run. I heard a rumor that Morphe sent all Jeffree Star's makeup to Nordstrom Rack, so it's on discount. So I'm going to go check it out and see what I can find. Along with, I'm going to look for new skincare at the Nordstrom Rack. I haven't been to the Nordstrom Rack in forever, so I'm going to check out their skincare section, check out their makeup section, maybe buy a new sweater. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to run some errands today. I'll probably work on things around the house. I'm not going to put any sort of powder or anything over these. I'm just leaving them as they are. Oh, we should probably take a before, right? We're gonna take a before right now after application, and then we'll take our after at the end of like 8, 10, whatever. It's gonna be more than 8 hours. We'll see how well it wears. Pixi definitely touts it's all day wear, so we'll see exactly what that means. So get a good look. Pixi, Milani. Right off the bat, I can say I like Pixi better. The look, the feel, the dry downness of it, this still feels really greasy to me. Really greasy. It is just slickery. I feel like dirt and shit's gonna just stick to my face. Hopefully it's not windy today. Okay, so I am done running all my errands. I wanted to check in a little bit sooner, but oh my God. The Nordstrom Rack was a zoo. I hated it. I hated every minute of it. And our Nordstrom Rack is like in this shopping area that has like 3 giant corners. It's like a shopping extravaganza, and it's like the whole town flocks to this one area to go shopping, and I hate it. It's super crowded. The parking is atrocious. People are just rude. You know, I just don't like it at all. Anyways, I am back now. It has been approximately 7 hours since I put on the Milani and the Pixi. I just feel like still, even now, the Milani feels like it hasn't dried down. I kept feeling like there was hair or something on my face, and it was only on the Milani side because it just still feels like my face feels kind of greasy to the touch, whereas the Pixi side, I can feel there's something on it, but it doesn't feel nearly as like this side feels like I need to like blot. Don't get me wrong. It feels like there's something on my face, but this feels like moisturizer that just never absorbed into my skin. But as far as like wear for the 7 hours, I don't notice any like creasing. It didn't get into like my fine lines, neither side. So like where my glasses sit, you can see is definitely red. But if I had my contacts on, I'm sure that wouldn't be an issue. Again, I just feel like the Milani side, maybe it's better to put powder over the top of it, but I didn't want to. I just like the look of the Pixi side. My natural skin is still there. Even like under my eyes and my eye creases, nothing is cakey. And I think it might have to do with definitely the H2O-ness and the coconut oiliness of these. These are a little bit more runny than the number 7 and the Neutrogena. These two, if I'm remembering correctly, you could see that I had makeup on under there. But here, you can't see it. Really, the Milani side doesn't look like I had anything on except for a very light tinted moisturizer, and it feels that way as well. It doesn't feel as greasy as it did initially, but it certainly stayed almost, I want to say like wet to the touch almost for a good 2 to 3 hours, 100%. Whereas the Pixi side dried down much faster, and I didn't feel like there were random hairs or lint or something. For a while, I always felt like I was like, what is on my face? Only on the Milani side. And I felt for a while with the Milani side like I had something on my face. Like I could definitely tell something was on my face. Whereas the Pixi side, it just feels like my normal face. This is a 7-hour check-in. I think they're both wearing just fine. I don't know if you can really tell, but the Milani side definitely still more dewy. I almost feel like there's too much of my skin. Like I want my natural skin to show through, but like I feel like it's too much. Like why did I pay $12? And maybe it's just me being kind of picky, but I just don't feel like it's evening everything out as nicely as this side is. Now, while my natural skin is still showing through on the Pixi side, even with my dark spots, just like this area is more evened out compared to this area here. Pores still look large and in charge. Nothing is really like caked into my forehead creases on either one, which I will say I do prefer. And again, these are two different types of things. These are skin tints, whereas these are a CC type cream. These ones, I did feel they settled into my cracks and crevices and almost look like little dots of dirt in my creases. Whereas right now, after 7 hours, like if I stretch my line out, you can see there's nothing like built up anywhere, which is good. I mean, not near the coverage as these. These are just almost like, what do they say? Your skin, but better. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this on basically until I wash my face to go to bed. So when I check in again, it will be 10 plus hours. Who knows? But we'll see. So far, so good. Both of them, not bad. The Milani, the feel of it, it's not awesome. Okay, so it has been 12 hours of our wear test between Milani and Pixi. I just looked at myself super closely in the mirror, and the Milani side really just looks like nothing. It just kind of absorbed into my skin. And on the Pixi side, I just noticed there is bunching right around my nose. But mind you, I have been wearing this for 12 solid hours. Now, I haven't been doing anything terribly like exerting. I didn't like go run a mile or anything. I went to the Nordstrom rack and the Starbucks, and then really after my check-in at 7 hours, I pretty much just ate dinner and laid on the couch and watched TV for the remaining 3 hours. So yeah, you could call this a wear test that was like during your work day, you're sitting at the desk, you didn't go to the gym, but for the most part, I cannot get over the Milani still just feels, you know, like sometimes when you put on too much moisturizer, too much of your skincare products and you can go like this and then it rolls into like kind of a dirt ball. That's what the Milani side feels like to me. If you have 1 ounce of oily skin, this one's probably not gonna work for you. While the coverage was sheer enough and my skin did show through, it's the feeling. I don't know if it's the coconut water blend and vitamin E. I don't know. It just has a weird, even now, 12 hours later, it never fully feels dry. this at least feels dry. I definitely can feel that there's something on my skin on the Pixi side. I'm looking at my hands to see like how much is rubbing off on them, which there is definitely. You rub your face, you're definitely gonna get makeup on your hands. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do know. While the Milani was only $11.99, which I still think is quite expensive for 1 fluid ounce of a drugstore brand Hydrating Skin Tint. I mean, maybe that's the hydration I'm feeling. I don't know. I can't get over the way this side of my face feels compared to this side. And I know the Pixi, Jiminy Christmas, if I was thinking $11.99 for 1 fluid ounce is expensive, this stuff is double the price of the Milani. But like I said, if you have 1 ounce of oiliness in your skin, I think this is gonna slide right off. I was just reading the Pixi H2O SkinTint again, and it says it's a tinted face gel. I don't remember it coming out like a gel at all. It doesn't feel anything like a gel, more like a foundation than anything else. I don't know what they mean by gel here, but I definitely like the way this feels more so than the Milani. While it did let my normal skin come through, it kind of evened it out. Not completely like made it so that my skin was perfection. No, that's not what I was looking for in these skin tints. I don't want my skin to be weighed down with foundation. That's not a look I'm going for. I don't think that is a look that makes mature skin look that great. No matter what anybody says, I disagree. For me and my face, I think a face that is covered in foundation does not look great if it has any sort of wrinkles on it. Now, if you're 20 and you've got porcelain skin because you're young, yeah, foundation will look great on you. It'll smooth it out and you'll look like a goddamn China doll. But for us, people like me, I just think foundation is not the way to go. I don't agree with any of the commercials that tell us that foundation is the way to go. I'd rather go completely nothing on my face and just a little bronzer, maybe a little blush, a little baby bit of eyeshadow, and some mascara and chapstick and call it a day. I think that looks better than having my face full of foundation and fucking setting powder. So I was not trying to test anything that claimed to be foundation. I mean, this is kind of like the number 7 in the Neutrogena that we tested a while back, like CC cream, which I am kind of a fan of, but now that I've tried the skin tint, especially this Pixi one, I think I'm more of a fan. It's more lightweight. It does not, aside from the bunching right around my nose, you can see it right here. I don't think there's anything set, nothing caked into my wrinkles, which I love. Even after 12 hours. Yeah, I did it at 10 this morning and it's 10 tonight. That's 12 hours. Even with the Milani, no one knew I had anything on it. Just like I said earlier, it looks like my skin, but slightly, not amazingly better, just slightly better. Like a no makeup look.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know?
And I think that's what my problem was with Milani, is that I constantly was feeling like I had something on my face, whereas the Pixi one, I didn't feel like I had anything on my face. I was very aware that this side of my face had makeup on it. Yeah. The coverage on the Milani was a little bit more sheer. While the Pixi was still sheer, the Milani was like really just a very slightly tinted moisturizer in my opinion. So yeah, you know, I do want to do something really in a second. But first I think that we should take some after pictures and compare them with the before, because to me they kind of look exactly the same as this morning, minus a little bit of bunching and minus a little bit of wear offness. Now I will say, for some reason all day long today, this eye was watering. So I was kind of blotting and touching this side of my face a lot more than I was touching this side of my face. And I don't know if my eye was crazy watering because of something in the Milani. I'm not quite sure. But I was touching this side of my face a lot more, which could have to do with the fact that I feel like it wore off a lot sooner than the Pixi side. I just honestly think they both wore very well throughout these last 12 hours. But let's look at the pictures. Oh, also too, I don't know if you noticed, but when I was at the Nordstrom rack, I bought some new earrings because I wanted to change up my earring style. I have always had a third hole in this ear and I've never put an earring in it, but now I have. So now, technically this is a 4 earring side, but you know, I'll probably always just say the 1 earring side and the 2 earring side, even though this technically is 4. But anyways, see, new earring style. I just wanted little hoops and they have little diamonds on them. So yeah, I put these in today because I was very excited about it. But that's neither here nor there. What I wanted to do, because I was curious, I know we saw already how kind of watery, oily, thin this was. I do want to kind of take another look at this again. It is very, very thin. I don't know if it's water, it's coconut watered down. So that's the Milani. It does go on very smooth and seamless. I felt completely comfortable just rubbing it on with my hand or my fingers. Now, the Pixi that claims it's a gel, it is very, very firm. It's holding its shape. It's not running down my finger, but it is still very thin. And I don't know, I just really like this one. It doesn't smell like anything. The Milani smells delicious and heavenly, like a day at the beach that I'll never ever see. The Pixi one smells like absolutely nothing. Now, that brings me to the ones we've already tested because I want you to see the difference in the skin tint texture, density, molecular structure, if you will, compared to the CC creams that we tested prior. So this is the number 7, and right away you're gonna see a huge difference. It's much thicker. I mean, look at how well that holds its shape. Very, very thick. It separates. It's almost like cookie dough thickness. Isn't that crazy? It's very thick. Now, while the color looks super, super dark, it does sheer and blend out. I do like the texture of this number 7, and it does offer more coverage, but I will tell you what, it's not lasting 12 hours. It bunches in my wrinkles for sure. But oh gosh, it makes your skin feel really, really nice. Very different ending texture than the Pixi or the Milani. This is very like satiny smooth, whereas this feels like my skin. And then the Neutrogena is kind of the same. See, very, very thick. A little bit on the Pixi side, but still pretty thick. The number 7 and the Neutrogena go on much thicker, like one coat is all you need, whereas these are more sheer and more of my skin is showing through. I would say out of all of them, I actually prefer the Pixi, and definitely between Milani and Pixi today in our head-to-head challenge, I want to say yes to the Milani just because of the price, but it's something about it. I don't think it's great for all skin types, but the Pixi, now like I said, this is just color beige. I kind of dig it. I could see myself wearing this almost every day, more so than the number 7 or the Neutrogena. I feel like the CC creams for me are the closest thing to foundation without being foundation. So maybe for like a special night out or something where I know I'm not going to be wearing the CC cream for that long, those would be good. Give me a little bit more full coverage. But for something all day where I just want my skin to just have a little zhuzh to it, I'm digging this, even though it's $24. This H2O Skin Tint by Pixi, I dig it. So it's officially official in our head-to-head challenge of the skin tints. Pixi is the winner, in my opinion. So now I'm going to wash my face and go to bed. So if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you are alerted to all of the Skincare Saturday videos I push out, which is every other Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.